Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold Fans channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.
Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Ridge and Brooke get mad when Eric joins Katie's fashion house after leaving retirement. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Eric Forrester is preparing to announce his retirement. Here's what B&B fans should anticipate as Ridge and Brooke. Logan Forrester will be furious about this Logan arrival. Deke Sharp has already been actively sought after to join Katie Logan Spencer's team. Although Deke is relatively new to the fashion industry, Katie is aware of his talent and innovative ideas that could create some buzz. But Katie might also benefit from someone with years of expertise. Eric is an expert in fashion design and might serve as Deke's mentor in addition to providing some sketches. Eric will undoubtedly play a significant role at Logan in the near future, regardless of whether he approaches Katie or declines her offer. Let's examine what B&B executive producer and head writer Bradley Bell said in an interview with TV Insider on Eric's future. Eric will rebel. Best intentions be damned, he feels. He is the company's founder, Forrester. Bell stated, he always thought he would have a place there until the end, so it upsets him that Ridge wants to take over even though he's been working beside him for all these years. It seems that Eric will come to the conclusion that he doesn't like this retirement option the longer he considers it. It won't be shocking if Eric doesn't follow through on his retirement plan because he simply agreed to give it a try. Bell affirmed Eric will find a new avenue to channel his passion, which is design. Everything is set up for Eric to rebel against Ridge and other Forrester employees' attempts to force him into retirement. Eric believes he has so much more to offer and doesn't want to quit doing what he loves. Eric might make a major statement about his coming out of retirement news since he will be standing up to people who attempted to force him out of the fashion industry too soon. When Eric enters the game, Ridge, Brooke, Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Carter Walton, and everyone else at Forrester Creations will be caught off guard. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Katie will have some strong allies and will keep updating her approach as she goes. Carter's final stand, Steffi's confrontation, and Deke's intelligence. Fans might anticipate learning some information on Deke Sharp. Taylor Hayes is confronted by Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Carter Walton also takes a risky step with Daphne Rose. Steffi Forrester Finnegan's confrontation. Let's begin with Steffi, who was spying on Deacon in the final moments of his therapy session. Deacon was unaware of the brunette's presence because she managed to hide as he was leaving. But once Deacon departs, Steffi storms into her mother's office and engages in a heated argument. If Taylor starts to feel something for her patient, the co-CEO will want to know. Steffi will then remind her that Deacon is not wed to a submissive lady. Taylor's actions could put them all in jeopardy once more because the man is married to Sheila. Deacon will return from his therapy appointment at Deke Sharp's Intel over at Il Giardino. Deke may express his excitement over Katie Logan Spencer's proposal to his father. Deacon will undoubtedly make his own confession. The man will most likely confess to Deke that he has feelings for Taylor. Carter Walton's passionate plea. According to spoilers for tomorrow's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter will keep attempting to prevent Daphne from leaving Los Angeles. The COO is perplexed by the Nose's abrupt departure. The man believed that everything was going smoothly. Daphne, though, desires to be pursued. Daphne needs to understand that she is the sole woman for Carter. Simply spending time with him is insufficient. Carter hasn't made much progress in his attempts to prove himself to Daphne thus far. Daphne Rose's insistence. Daphne will make an effort to gently disappoint Carter. But I'm curious if Hope Logan Spencer is correct about Daphne fleeing. In any event, Carter will do whatever it takes to convince Daphne to remain in the city. The man may remember Ridge Forrester's statement that Daphne might be the one. Will Daphne be deterred, though, if Carter makes an unexpected marriage proposal? Keep an eye out for all the drama because even if it is a drastic move, Daphne may still find it insufficient. The Bold and the Beautiful. Did Poppy Nozawa leave? Where is Poppy Nozawa, Luna's crazy mother? Weeks have passed since Luna Nozawa's death on The Bold and the Beautiful, and her mother was relieved that she was no longer with us. We kind of expected to see Poppy cry or choose a headstone, but nobody made fun of Luna. Viewers haven't seen Poppy on the CBS soap opera since she found out her kid was gone. Did Romy Parks leave as well, and TPTB neglected to let us know? Romy Park, did you leave? In October 2023, Romy Park joined the Bold and the Beautiful. It was discovered that Luna Nozawa wasn't even Bill Spencer's daughter after they had been living together for a few months. Romy Park signed a deal with the serial opera in 2024, and she starred in several significant episodes as Luna's biological father's identity was exposed and she was imprisoned. Poppy Nozawa has always been difficult for viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful to read. It's difficult to support a woman who concealed her pregnancy with Dr. John Finnegan's cousin/daughter and had an affair with her underage nephew. In addition, Poppy appears to be one of the worst mothers ever and a gold digger. Have viewers of the soap opera seen her last in La La Land? What about Poppy if Luna is dead? In a 2026 teaser, showrunner Bradley Bell verified that Luna Nozawa was indeed deceased and that Lisa Yamada had left the building. Given her history on B&B, Luna might reappear at any moment. However, the character is currently dead. Does this imply that Romy Park is also finished if Luna doesn't return? Has Poppy Nozawa passed away? We put away the tears to look through a memorable photo album on the anniversary of Annika Noel's Bold and Beautiful debut. Hope from The Bold and the Beautiful is one of the few characters that really captures the idea that life is a roller coaster. She's back in a wonderful marriage with Liam, working with Thomas on hope for the future once more, and she's on top of the world right now. That will undoubtedly succeed. Fortunately for Liam, Thomas continues to reside in Paris.
However, if that were to alter, Hope has had numerous high points in the years since Annika Noel took on the role, only to tumble back to reality. Repeatedly. But that's the nature of soap operas in general, not just the character. On the first episode of Bold Live, Noel revealed that she had heard about Bold and Beautiful because her mother had watched soap operas when she originally tried out to portray Hope. She was by no means an expert, but she had seen it every now and then. I had a code name when I auditioned, she disclosed. However, at the time, I still had my never-dyed hair. I believe her name was Linda or Julie. Every girl in the waiting area had blonde or bleached blonde hair, while I had my natural hue. I simply recall thinking, all right. I don't understand this though. However, she later received a callback. And one more. Before she knew it, she was being asked to read with Catherine Kelly Lang and Scott Clifton. At that point, Casey Kasperzik, a producer and host of Bold Live, posted a video of her producer callback with Lang. Kasperzik was astonished by how much Matula knew her Hope from earlier times when she mentioned that she was very certain the scene they read was from when Brooke slept with Oliver. By 2018 there was also a good deal of history to learn. When Kimberly Matula joined the program in 2010, she brought Hope from childhood to adulthood. She experienced her fair share of affairs, marriages, and grief with Oliver, Wyatt, and Liam. However, following Hope's miscarriage in December 2014, Matula left. She divorced Wyatt, her ex-husband, and fled to Milan in an attempt to escape her suffering. Hope had been in Los Angeles for just over 3 years when Noel arrived in 2018. Ridge had begged her to come home and surprise Brooke, so even though she had left in tears, she returned triumphantly. But she's kind of known for her tears. Liam's signature bouncing between Hope and Steffi defined her early years. Then there was their stillborn daughter, who was recently adopted by Steffi and turned out to be very much alive. There was a mannequin. Thomas became enamored with her, and Hope and Noel have shed a lot of tears throughout the years. Nobody does angst and having your heart ripped out of you like you do, Kasperzik said to the actress during the Bold Live broadcast. Thank you so much, Noel chuckled. You do it so well. I am grateful. It is a privilege that you folks entrust me with such important information. However, I believe it is beneficial for the character and the audience to occasionally have a little humor, so it is more successful when those things do occur. We don't sure about humor, but Hope's personal and professional circumstances appear to have stabilized once more. Liam only needed to pretend to have a brain tumor to make her realize how much she loved him, and a few aggressive takeovers to restore hope for the future's dominance. But at least she will have Liam's shoulder to weep on if everything falls apart. Or Thomas's. All we can do is wait and see. We can only hope that Noel's character will have more happy times in the future. But we have no doubt that the actress will continue to deliver outstanding performances. The Bold and the Beautiful. R.J. Forrester returns, Dylan's secrets multiply, and history threatens to repeat itself. R.J. Forrester's official return to Los Angeles in January, recast, older, and carrying emotional baggage that would break most people, is causing chaos once more. When viewers last saw R.J., his entire world had collapsed. Luna Nozawa, the girl he loved, trusted, and stood up for, turned out to be a serial killer. The betrayal was psychological as much as romantic. R.J. was living with someone who was capable of murder, deceit, and incestuous treachery, so he wasn't just duped. It seems that fate is now prepared to put him to the test once more. R.J. Forrester. Wiser, guarded, and still vulnerable. R.J.'s comeback won't be amusing. According to sources, he returns less naive, more reserved, and extremely wary of closeness. Though experience demonstrates that R.J. has a blind spot when it comes to injured women who need to be saved, he assures himself he's learned his lesson. And that's precisely where Dylan comes into play. Even if R.J. says he isn't seeking love, has a Forrester man ever let that stop him? Dylan. A walking mystery with no past. Dylan hasn't even unpacked her suitcases before appending the canvas. No last name. No family is listed. No steady history. Even though that should raise red flags, Electra Forrester and Will Spencer Jr. accept the homeless art teacher to move in despite all the warning signs. Dylan seemed to be a fantastic fit for the part. Artistic, sensitive, thankful, and soft-spoken. However, there are already visible fissures. She poses strange queries. She is overly knowledgeable. Some names, particularly Luna Nozawa, cause her to respond too strongly. Electra and Will soon realize they made a grave error. According to spoilers, Dylan's concealment is not the question. It's the degree of danger that anything poses. Is Dylan a fraud or something worse? Dylan's true identity is the subject of rumors. Some people think she's a cunning thief who moves from couch to couch and takes advantage of charity to survive. Some conjecture that Dylan may have managed to evade institutional care, or that she is experiencing untreated trauma related to violent incidents in her past. The most terrifying notion of all is that Dylan isn't at all random, that she has a purpose for being in Los Angeles. R.J. meets Dylan. A recurring pattern. The attraction between R.J. and Dylan is instantaneous, but unnerving. She is intense but cautious, haunted but artistic, strangely self-possessed, yet vulnerable. Dylan appears to be drawn to R.J. almost immediately, as though she is familiar with him or has researched him. What about R.J.? R.J. sees the trend. Luna was brittle. He was necessary to Luna. He felt valued, trustworthy, and essential because to Luna. Dylan follows suit. Friends advise him to ease down, but R.J. maintains that he is merely being considerate. He tells himself that he is now more powerful, more intelligent. However, attraction does not seek approval from reason. The bombshell that turns everything around at that point, everything is in danger of collapsing. Dylan finds out R.J.'s real name during an apparently innocuous chat. Forrester. R.J. Her response is instantaneous and hard to conceal. Her face loses its color. Because Luna Nozawa was once loved by R.J. Dylan too? The woman who struck Luna with her automobile was Dylan. The woman who left the scene of the collision. The woman whose life unraveled the instant Luna passed away. Los Angeles seems so tiny all of a sudden. A relationship based on secrets. R.J. is unaware of Dylan's true identity. Dylan has every excuse not to inform him. As their relationship grows stronger, Dylan must make the difficult decision to either confess and risk everything or remain silent and allow history to repeat itself. Every look they exchange now has significance. Every minute spent together is tinged with deceit. And if R.J. ever learns that the woman he's becoming close to has something to do with Luna's passing, the emotional repercussions could be more severe than they were initially. In the meantime, Will Spencer Jr. and Electra Forrester start to notice discrepancies, and Will and Electra's regret comes too late. When it comes to chronology, Dylan lies. She avoids answering inquiries about her background. When police reports and mental health facilities are mentioned, she reacts aggressively. They might have welcomed a visitor into their spare bedroom, but they might have also invited danger into their house. And if Dylan feels trapped, nobody is aware of her potential. Will R.J. experience another nightmare? R.J. Forrester vowed that he would never again disregard red flags. And yet here he is, lured to another lady enmeshed in tragedy, secrets, and unresolved issues. Does Dylan really want to make a fresh start? Or is she unconsciously looking to the one man who may ruin her if the truth is revealed for redemption? There's no doubt that R.J. Forrester's comeback won't merely rekindle old wounds. It might produce new ones that are far more destructive than the previous ones. Carter's request, Deacon's flirtatious move, and Steffi spies. Finnegan spies Steffi Forrester. Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp are still flirting. Additionally, Daphne Rose is confronted by Carter Walton. Lee Finnegan's wisdom. Sheila Carter Sharp calls Lee Finnegan to Il Giardino. The waitress must talk about her marriage. Sheila reports Taylor and Deke Sharp's remarks to the physician. People are not pleased with her reunion with Deacon, and she is quite tense. Lee reminds the woman that Taylor encouraged her to wed Deacon. Sheila needs to strengthen her union. Sheila acknowledges that she has been friends with Taylor. Lee informs her that others are supporting her. Lee claims that Sheila has both Taylor's and her support. Sheila chooses to concentrate solely on Deacon. Carter is taken aback by Steffi Forrester Finnegan's announcement at Forrester Creations. When would Daphne inform Carter? Eventually Steffi considers. Carter has no idea what this is. The COO is pressured by Rich Forrester to reach Daphne. Ridge advises Steffi to have a conversation with Daphne after Carter leaves. But Steffi tells her father that Daphne follows her wishes. Carter Walton's plea. Daphne tells Hope Logan Spencer in the showroom that she is returning to Paris. Hope questions why it happened so quickly. It's time, Daphne says, and she can work from home. Hope is worried about Carter, not about her job. Daphne acknowledges that this is uncomfortable. Hope is still concerned about him. Is Daphne fleeing anything positive? Hope is aware of Daphne's intense concern about Carter. Hope heads to Ridge's office after leaving. They are already aware of Daphne's departure. Carter locates Daphne. The nose regrets not being able to tell him herself. Why is she leaving when Carter claims they have a genuine chance? According to Daphne, she lives in Paris. Carter hopes she stays. Deacon Sharp's flirtatious move in the hospital office. Deacon takes Taylor's hands. The man is curious about her feelings for him. Taylor removes her hands. Deacon raves about how wonderful she is. Taylor implies that he is projecting emotions onto her. Deacon responds that while Taylor provides her patients with a lot during the day, who is Taylor Hayes, the woman at night? Does she require affection? Deacon sees that Taylor is uneasy. Taylor should be worshipped, according to the man. Steffi shows up outside the door of Taylor's office. Deacon lectures Taylor on how much she has impacted his life once they are back inside. Deacon, according to Taylor, has shown her that life continues after Ridge. As Deacon approaches, she declares that their time is up. As Deacon leaves Taylor's office, Steffi hurriedly hides. Taylor feels so relieved. Then Steffi storms in, demanding to know Deacon's true situation. Does she have feelings for Sheila's husband?
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.